Welcome back to North Korea, everyone. This time we will continue to invade places in Southeast Asia, and I decided that my next target is going to be Laos, because the other ones are going to be fairly hard to do. Right now, Vietnam looks like they are trying to improve relations with China, as we can already see from here, so we may actually get them in the faction soon enough, so I'm not going to attack them just in case that is the case. And I will just wait for, where are you going? Right, Palau. And I'm just going to be waiting for Laos to be available as a war goal, because I'm justifying against them and it will take quite a while. And then once they are, in fact, ready, I will invade them and take them over, and that will be my sort of gateway towards the south of the continent, especially because of Thailand over here and Malaysia having a lot of resources, as you can see, lots of rubber, lots of oil, and that's going to be great. Also, Cambodia might be a target, and yeah, they've got quite a bit of resources as well, so I might want to go for them as well without endangering other areas that are under our control, because it would be pretty easy to go down here. Laos isn't exactly a state that has a lot of friends, so we can easily just go in and take them over. Another choice would be Myanmar. However, at least for now, I'm going to be leaving them alone. And I'd really like to know whether or not I can attack through China, because if I cannot attack through China, then I'm going to have to call China into the war. And that might be risky because of several reasons. So let's just check out the supply area. Okay, so it's actually a pretty huge area. Thanks to that, we can deploy a pretty large amount of divisions to the attack. Let's get the plan going. We've still got naval combat to watch over, but it's not a problem. There's still a lot of American submarines just roaming around, and I not really like that, but I've got really no way to deal with it, so we just have to man up, pretty much. So where are our destroyers? Not really sure where they are. Doesn't really tell me. Okay. I was pretty sure that I was doing something with them. Yeah, well, apparently not. Must have been... okay, I'm not really sure. I believe they were set on convoy escort. Although he might have been actually... yeah, my destroyer might have actually been sunk. And so the fleet that was actually doing the thing got essentially taken out of action. No. Naval combat. Still a little bit of convoy battles, nothing really too intense. What? I want this naval battle result. Doesn't really tell me. Oh well. So I redeployed a bunch of fighters and tactical bombers, and I'm gonna put them over Indochina, because that's where I'm going to be attacking next. There we go. And then we've got the plan going for Brunei. Brunei will be available to be declared on in a month. Hopefully my Marines will be able to single-handedly wipe out Brunei, though I sincerely doubt that will be the case. And since Brunei is actually guaranteed by the UK, they will probably join the main war against the NATO. So probably what will happen is, if we cannot take them out in one go, then the Western countries will come in and reinforce them, thus making them basically impossible to take over. But hopefully it will not come to that. Although I sincerely doubt that we will manage to take them out in one go, I will still try. In fact, I might actually try to pull along a mechanized division and an armored division in the assault. I'm not really sure as to the combat width of the area that we're going to be fighting in, because there's no real way to predetermine combat width, at least not that I know. So, but pulling in the other divisions is just to give a little bit of an extra boost to my firepower of my Marines. I could also invade the Philippines, however the Philippines basically don't have any real industry nor resources that we can take over. I mean, they would be nice to have as a base, but really they would be kind of a waste of men trying to take them over, because there's really not much there, to be honest. So I won't really go for that because it would be kind of a waste. So they appear to have brought up some actual extra divisions, and I mislike the fact that most of my divisions are concentrated over here. I would like them to be over here so that I could cut off these 5 enemy divisions. Okay, so there goes Brunei, and that's a lot of enemy submarines. Apparently we've still got naval supremacy somehow. So let's try to take them out. Yep, Brunei joined NATO. Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa! Holy shit. Okay, so okay, so I feel like going over 50% world tension just triggered a lot of AI activity. Okay, so Hong Kong joined our faction. Over here, the Stans joined CSTO. And looks like India joined NATO, which is definitely not good if China gets called into war, because that will be a huge war between China and India that isn't really that good of an idea right now. Macau also joined. United States called in Singapore. Yeah, well, now the war is merged. Okay. And then, what about the tech? I'm not sure about the tech, actually. Marine patrol aircraft will be good. And then we're just trying to get these guys in. Estonia joined NATO. That's just a lot of joining ins. Estonia got called into war. Croatia joined. Slovenia, Latvia, Lithuania, and Romania. Yeah. Everyone's joining. It's okay. Honestly, our transport just took a whole long ass time to get there, so probably they will have managed to teleport some troops to help out Brunei, which would not be fun. In fact, it looks like even their existing army is going to be easily able to repulse us. Oof, I don't like that. I really dislike that. So let's just tell them to go back to port, because that will be a huge failure again. We'd really need some aircraft to be able to reach there to have any invasion be capable of success, but that's unfortunately not the case. Wonder if Palau will be... it's gonna take 60 days. And let's go and take Engineer Company 4 to have an additional bonus against Urban. It does not let me research that though. Probably because I've already researched it and it's actually just bugged. Yeah, it's most likely the case. Wait, what? What the fuck? Okay, hold on, let me reload this, because this is buggy. Well, the game seems to have thought that I was China, I feel like, but seems to be fixed right now. And actually, I'll take that opportunity to actually just leave you for a bit, and I'll come back to you when there's something interesting that's actually happening. So I'll see you then. I have gotten the justification for Palau, so we'll declare war on them and start the invasion. Of course, they've joined NATO. Hopefully, they will not be able to send reinforcements in time, and our troops will be able to get across safely. Though, okay, they're going. Hopefully, they're going. Also, another development is the fact that India got called in a war, and there's now a huge amount of actually allied forces just sitting. Oh my goodness! If you can hear the motorcycle outside, I'm sorry. It just can't be helped. People will be retards and just crossing these areas where there's really nothing with really loud motorcycles, but it's okay. Still. Essentially, there's a huge amount of allied troops over here just sitting at the border between India and China and not really doing anything because China's not in war. So as you can see, it looks like NATO is actually racing a bunch of troops around the sea, but we will be able to take Palau pretty safely because they have no army, and that's great because that's a good base for us. Send one guy to take over the rest of the island, so they will capitulate, and actually that means that we cannot, rather we don't need any more of that. So down here, we will probably use this area as a staging ground for perhaps for Papua New Guinea, because they may be a useful area to attack, though actually they have no resources, so no. Then it will just be useful for Indonesia. However, the problem with Indonesia is that they actually have an army, so yeah. And we actually have some free military factories. We'll build some... I feel like aircraft are the best bet for us right now, because we need more. We need more aircraft, especially naval bombers. But right now the main problem is really the fact that since it's kind of started to escalate into a very much a world war, we can get our diplomacy map mode, which is next to impossible in this game to actually acquire. To go to someone else. Okay, there we go. Since we're starting to fight a lot of countries, we have a really hard trouble, or we have a really hard time getting a lot of resources. That's not good. They have air superiority over the mirror. No, they don't. Liar. Filthy, filthy liar. They don't. Let's get some aircraft down here to defend the area, the Philippine Sea. Then we've got hopefully some fighters are supposed to be over the South China Sea, but really they're not doing it, which is, well, not exactly that great. We'll get some more fighters over here in Indochina, just in preparation for a campaign against the lovely state of Laos that I cannot pronounce. And one big problem is the fact that if we invade anyone at this point, they will probably join NATO. And so even if, when we will invade Thailand, they will probably join NATO, and that means that we have to get to Bangkok before NATO can just rush hundreds of divisions in to reinforce, or alternatively box them into such a close corner that they have to keep a very low amount of divisions, or rather comparatively low amount of divisions over there. So let's actually get, I've got a lot of troops that can train, and that's going to be good for me. In fact, my Japanese divisions are also fairly ready, which is great. And then we've got 7th Armor Division, and also train, because we will need all of them. Laos is really no problem because they are a landlocked country. That means that NATO cannot use a port to just ferry in huge amounts of troops. But everyone else will be a problem. Also, Cambodia doesn't have a port, so we can also use them. Of course, NATO can't technically sort of try to naval invade after we take Cambodia because they aren't landlocked, but they have no ports. So that means that essentially they will have horrible supply levels, and we will be able to easily sort of hold the area with just one division that will just hold the capital. So essentially that will sort of make it impossible for them to just snipe the capital and then use the factories in the capital to supply their troops. That's the only way that they can supply without a port. Well, there is technically a way to supply with transports and air bases, but I feel like the AI doesn't know how to do that, and it's still, even if the AI knew how to do that, it's a very weak supply increase. So yeah. Down here we are about to be ready. We're gonna have the declaration of war right now. We're not gonna call our allies in, and hopefully we'll be able to. No, we apparently cannot attack. Even though this is our allied territory, because they are not in the war, we cannot attack. That is unfortunate. That is very, very unfortunate. Well, we could probably attack them with paratroopers, but that would not work. I don't have enough paratroopers to attack them. That's the problem. Because their army is not that small. I mean, yeah, it's decently small, but it's not small. So I'm gonna have to train a huge amount of paratroopers. And I don't want to do that, because they'd only be useful for this. Essentially, the only way to attack them right now is to use this airfield in China to paradrop into the capital, and that will allow us to use the factories over there to supply my paratroopers. But even then, I don't know how many paratroopers I can supply. Then again, the fact that it is only one state means that if I paradrop enough paratroopers to take over most of the province and take over the factories, essentially what will happen is their army will go out of supply. So we could try. I mean, we just need to transfer our transport planes over, and then we will transfer the paratroopers as well that are in Iwo Jima. Hopefully they'll be able to make it to mainland China. If they will be able to make it to mainland China, I will also send them down here to Hainan, and then I will test out if I can paradrop into Laos. I should be able to, and if I can, then that means that I can essentially, oh god, that means that I can essentially attack Laos with just a huge swarm of paratroopers, and then I will put a bunch of them in production. Yeah, that's really annoying though, that we cannot in any capacity go after them. Now, since that is the case, I will switch over my aircraft to strategic bombing as well, because now that they cannot support a ground invasion, then their tactical bombing missions are essentially useless. So hopefully we'll start to see some enemy buildings bombed, as we can already see, and that will further decrease the amount of supplies that we have when we actually do manage to send in our men to invade. The main problem is the fact, what the fuck? Oh right, this was the other Marine army that got ignominiously beaten back. Now these guys, I'll put them back on the main army, and these guys will exercise. Yeah, this is a bit of a pickle. This is a bit of a big pickle. So we've managed to get our paratroopers onto China, which is great, and then we're going to send them down to Hainan. They should have the range to at least get to Vientiane. I'm not really sure how you say that name, but still, they should have the range. I'm not sure, but I'll definitely try. I wonder when they're gonna come. Okay, so they're moving down the rail line. naval convoy battles. Okay, good. So, can you go there? Perfect, you can. So, I'll have you go there. 2nd Paratrooper Brigade, where are you? You are here. I will have a different plan in mind for you. I will have a different one indeed. That is a little bit important. So how about we... that's actually full, but that doesn't matter, really. So let's get... some aircraft in reserve. And then we can also put down some more fighters as well. More fighters and close air supports to cover the area won't really hurt, so why not? And let's get more in there. Alright, that's actually a bit too much because the airfield is very small. Okay, should be enough. And essentially, the 2nd Paratrooper Division, where the hell are they? They're coming down, and they will be tasked with taking this province, which is the cutoff point for the country, just in case they have any troops bordering Cambodia. That will sort of make sure that at least one of the... let's actually get... we'll need about 20 paratroopers for that invasion, so we will get that going. And essentially the main objective will be to prevent reinforcement from the south, and then we will have essentially a vice-like grip on Laos. However, the main problem is going to be, of course, these divisions over here, which means that if we cannot capture the industry of Laos, then we will be fucked. That is essentially the best way I can put it. So we will have a lot of small sort of invasions. Where? Okay, right. We'll have a lot of smallish invasions coming in across the area and try to fan out as much as possible. And let's make sure I click on the right province. Good. We'll have the main force coming in over the capital, and then the rest will sort of just be scattered about in this area. And that's where I really am kind of missing the fact that I cannot build on allied territory, because if I was able to, I'd build an airfield over here and an airfield over here just to help out with that, but unfortunately I cannot do that. And yeah, that's just a bit of a shame. Let's actually get the transports up in priority so that they can get the resources required to produce a little bit faster. Modern maritime patrol aircraft. Oh boy, laggy. Oh god, what is this? Okay, that was scary. That was particularly scary, in fact. But we survived. Okay. I'm really not sure. Okay, I guess I should probably go for some naval doctrines. I'll go for the trade interdiction because I will be focusing on submarines and submarine production. So we're starting to just smash their infrastructure a little bit. I'm not sure as to where this airfield is. I don't really see it anywhere on the map, but I guess it exists. Yeah, sometimes this game is really weird. Just like this naval convoy, it just... okay, fine. Okay, so we should have a decent amount of paratroopers over here that are still training. Looks like 2 paratrooper brigades, and then we'll have the big army later on come in and be the sort of main group, I will also have to train them as well, which will take forever. So I will probably, in fact, just again, there's all these naval invasions that are supposedly happening, but it doesn't really say. It says, but it's just lying. There's no naval invasions actually happening. So I'll probably skip the rest of this building up phase until I am ready to actually go in. Everyone's no mission, really. That's nonsense. Y'all have missions? Okay. If you say so. Then the interface sometimes just pisses me off severely. This guy needs to go over the Philippine Sea. We can also probably have another fighter group over here. And a... Well, I don't have enough naval bombers, unfortunately. They'll go over to Bismarck Sea. They already have some penalties due to range, but that's gonna be fine. We'll have to deal with it. The other option is, of course, to call China into the war, but I don't want to do that because NATO is amassed over here, and having China be in the war will only make it a little bit more complicated because we'll have to fight all of their alliance, essentially, over here. And drawing China in the war right now is really not in my interest. I'd kind of like them to be a little bit stronger, because right now, yes, they do have a lot of divisions, but I feel like NATO would be able to easily crush them. And I don't want that to be the case at all. Naval battle. Oh no, shale hydraulic fracturing. That sounds evil. Well, that's a lot of penalties. How about we go for something else then? Perhaps generation-free armored personnel carriers. And no, I am researching, so go away, man. The lagginess. At least there's a little bit less of a naval combat alert nonsense going on than before, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, I really dislike the fact that I cannot attack, even though I am clearly in allied territory against enemy territory, but yeah. So we're starting to get a lot of damage dealt on the enemy infrastructure, which is good, and we're still having some naval invasion alerts that really don't make any sense, but yeah. We're losing some aircraft, but that's fine. That really is fine. How many planes do we actually have in our Air Force? So we got 1,000 tactical bombers and 750 fighters. That's actually only the deployed ones, though. So in general, we have about 1,500 bombers and that's pretty much 900 fighters. That's still nothing compared to NATO Air Forces, but NATO Air Forces haven't shown their face ever, so that's fine. There's still some random French troops just moving about, but really that's fine. They're not doing anything useful. So world tension is actually 75%, and we have generated 69% of that, which is interesting. The other world tensions have been actually generated by the USA by inviting people into NATO. So that's not really scary. Oh, they're actually scraping the barrel. Ooh, so they'll actually have a lot of men ready by the time we have our invasion force. That's not good. That is absolutely not good. So we're going to have to wait until the 3rd of June to have our main wave be ready, and then we're going to have to wait even longer for them to be trained, because I don't want to send in untrained divisions. I want them to be regulars because that will give them a 25% bonus, and it takes, let's see how much, 0.82% per day, so it will take them about, that's like 120 days to actually fully train up. So in about 5 months, we'll be ready to invade. That's actually quite a long time, and I dislike that, but wait, no. 120 is not... Yeah, 120 is actually 4 months, and then plus 1... Okay, 5 months, yeah. It's pretty much going to be a long-ass time that I will skip. And this is, I feel like, the end of the part. Yep. I'll probably just leave it at that, and I'm gonna join you later when I'm actually ready to invade Laos. So, see you then.